Speaking in tongues in the New Testament is almost exclusively an actual language.
What he meant by actual language was an earthly language like Mandarin or Italian or English. And so he is basically saying that Scripture is almost exclusively saying the gift of tongues is me talking to someone else in another foreign language like Spanish, something that can be known by people on earth. So literally the only place in Scripture we find the gift of tongues is a person speaking to another person is in Acts 2. That is the only one. Every other reference to the gift of tongues is either vague or explicitly not that. This is super easy to parse out. We just have to go straight to the Scripture. So I've pulled up 1 Corinthians 13 and 14, where Paul actually expands on what this gift is all about. And you're going to be maybe surprised to find out, scripturally speaking, it is not talking person to person. So 1 Corinthians 13:1, it does say that there are tongues of men and angels. So this is Paul saying these are two separate things. 1 Corinthians 14:2 says one speaks in a tongue, does not speak to men, but speaks to God. So at Pentecost, they were talking to men. But this gifting, as Paul is describing, it's actually men speaking directly to God, not other men. And it says in that same verse, he utters mysteries in the Spirit. In 14:4, it says the one who speaks in a tongue builds what? Himself up. So this is not speaking to edify or build up someone else. When you speak in a tongue, you're building yourself up. So of course, this gift could not possibly be just speaking person to person in Spanish or Mandarin or whatever. It's to build yourself up, okay? So in 14, verse 13 through 15, it says, you can pray and you can also sing in tongues. That doesn't make any sense. Why would it be singing to someone else? We're actually singing to the Lord because it says this gift is speaking directly to the Lord. And it says the spirit prays while the mind is unfruitful. So your spirit is praying, but your mind does not know or discern what you are praying. This is Paul telling us what this gift is all about. And you're going to find there's so many references that show this gift is not just speaking to men. And in fact, that's a minority version of the gift compared to what Scripture lays out over and over again. One other thing I think is quite interesting is Paul actually says in this passage that he thanks God he speaks in tongues more than everyone else who's reading this letter. He says, I thank God I speak in tongues more than all of you. He also says this to churches, do not forbid speaking in tongues.